we get in there and the mic has a buzz. And I'm like, again, I already told you, I'm pretty OCD. So I was like, guys, I can't.
Can't have something like a mic ruin the thing. We have to, she's here. We got to record. Right. She's busy. We're busy, And then all of a sudden, Ricky's like, I got to go. And so Ricky goes home, and then Ricky pulls back up in his Supra with the trunk open, a giant Pelican case.
Dylan was like, yo, I made this little tiny edit, but I think it's sick. And we played Amelia the first time in Canada. Right. And then we were both like, oh, this is crazy. Right. And then we finished it for New York. Everybody, managers were there. Everybody was like, the Amelia record, oh my gosh. And like, it just exactly reminds me of Cash Out. It was like, bro, I started this little Cash idea. Oh my gosh, like let's try it out. Mm-hmm. And then the first festival we played at like an Insomniac festival at NOS Center. It was like fire. It was like this craziest moment. We're like, all right, we got to clear this. We got to call Bobby. Like this isn't a treat anymore.
All right, it's Powertools, and we got Sidepiece back in the house. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you guys again. One of you got married?
Yes, sir. Just
wait, you did?
Fresh off the honeymoon. I'm sorry. We didn't tell Dylan yet.
What? He wasn't aware
He's
of
like,
it?
what?
He wasn't invited?
Damn. I'm officially the side piece now.
Yeah. Okay. You are the side piece of the side piece.
Our wives are the side pieces now.
Yeah. We've been out of the game for a minute. So
right. So, how was married life, man?
Good. I mean, the honeymoon was awesome with Turks and Caicos, and that was beautiful. That's the best water I've ever seen in my entire life. So
nice,
beautiful. The wedding was awesome. Dylan was there actually. He was invited.
Dylan was
His
there.
wife actually.
Did you
planned.
DJ?
What's that?
Did you
no,
DJ?
I didn't touch the decks. I was like, yo, don't even ask me. But he had plenty of DJ friends there that were ripping it.
I think as like a professional DJ, like most of us would never want to DJ weddings because it's a really hard job. Like the guys that do it,
it's the hardest job to do.
They're good. Like they have a different talent than what we do. So we're like, nah, that's not for me. You know?
Honestly, I didn't even want to clock in for work. I just wanted to enjoy the wedding. It was great. There was fireworks. There was
fireworks
dancing,
at the wedding.
Food.
Yeah, we spared no expense on this. My wife was. It was her dream princess wedding.
That's awesome. You got to do it. Honestly, I did the same thing. Whatever the wife wanted. At the end of the day, I didn't care. It's whatever you.
I'm just kidding. It was my dream princess wedding.
So since the last time you guys have been here, I just want to go over your releases. Take Your Place, the collab with Weston, #1 on Beatport. Cry for You, huge. Electric Bongo on Experts Only. Cash Out, one of the songs of last summer. I still dropped that song today. You guys had Lick on Toolroom, Menage a Trios on Catch and Release. Your latest single, Misbehave with Aluna, is fire.
Thank you.
I mean, you guys are like cooking it up. Like, I guess my first question is, from a creative standpoint, once you guys fully committed to doing Sidepiece, did that really open the door for like the creativity in the studio? Once you guys fully went like, we're all in on this?
I mean, honestly, I feel like last time we talked to you on this show, we were probably
you were just
finishing
yes.
up. Like we were like, oh yeah, we're both like basically, Party Favor and Nitty are pretty much like on the back burner, and we like just had committed. So it kind of proves that like since we did that, I think just to make it really simple, we had more time to like make records, obviously release a bunch of stuff, and that's kind of what, besides us like always like loving making side piece music, it just actually freed up more time to like go do collaborations with like Aluna and people like that, and just had a lot of sessions, and that was like the biggest part, where it was like we just had a lot of fun with it. We got out of a label deal, and we just like created our own label and did a lot of stuff where it was like a bit back to like the old like really original version of Sidepiece, which is like passionate about house music, and like that kind of stuff I think just led to like we just weren't as picky, but weirdly enough that made the records better, I guess, because we weren't like this has to be a hit. We were just like we made a couple originals, a couple covers, a couple remixes, a couple treats, and then we decided which ones to put out, and it just felt like less stress somehow. And we obviously we put out a lot of records though.
Right. A lot of great records. I mean, when you're in the studio working, are you thinking more hit record, more radio record, or you're just making something that slaps? What is like the mindset, or is it always a little different?
I mean, I think that like whenever you start to get to a certain level, and I'm sure a lot of people that come on the show would know, there's like a certain pressure to kind of keep up your level or top what you've done before. And especially for us with when the project started, having a record that we, never would have assumed would go that big, but like on my mind,
huge.
You kind of are already on a trajectory that's like up this way, which is a very great thing to have. But I think for us, both of us, I think there was a lot of outside voices for a long time in Sidepiece, and it kind of came in, and we had pull from this label, and then it was us and what we were thinking, and then we were self-doubting, then we had, our management's this and that. So it was like what Ricky was saying just a second ago, was like once we kind of quieted that noise a bit and kind of were like, hey, let's just get back to when we started Sidepiece. Right. This was our ethos, and I think that's led to, our sound is always going to not be really fully underground, right? It's not going to be deep, but I think inherently when we took out a lot of that outside noise, it just kind of makes records, and some of them are going to hit, some of them are not, but I think, we've been fortunate, especially last year, knock on wood, if there's any wood around here, that, we can continue 2025 trajectory, into this year.
And is the process of creating music for you guys more now getting in the studio together, or is it working together on, while you're touring? What is the process for creating music now?
Honestly, I think when you're touring so much, like you get really good at like tour production. Right. So like 90% of the time, honestly, like Misbehave, we got in the session with Aluna, right? Us three, and we wrote it, but then we road tested it. And that's what finished the record, right? And a lot of times we'll like just simple stuff like, the kick or the bass or this one synth. Oh, it needs a bigger build, the third drop, right? So that's what we did with that song. It had 2 drops. She wrote an awesome hook. And then we were like, okay, how do we finish this? We would play it, fix it, play it, fix it. And we constantly are just like, we have another record that's, hopefully coming out soon. And it's just a simple vocal. And that one was like our intro for our tour coming up. And it's going to be, hopefully more of like a club record. But that one's like, all made on the road. Like we made one version 6 months ago, then we did one in Australia, and then we just did one for the tour. So it's like a lot of the times it's on tour, because like half our life is on an airplane or in a hotel. So we love sessions. I love working on other music too, and Dylan we both do a lot of production, but like that's like relaxing production, whereas like Sidepieces, we live on the road, so we're like almost all our records are like that.
So once it passes the road test, that's when you guys decide this record is ready to release?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it doesn't even need a crazy road test. You play it out the first version, and we're like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
Like there's the
V1.
Yeah,
it happens.
No, that is.
Cry For You is actually, besides like us having to like recut the vocal because it's a cover.
Right.
That was like, I remember it was like a V1 where we were both like, wow, this is special. Like I remember the like last year we both were like, no way, this is one of those V1s. But then Cash Out was like maybe V10 or something, and then some of them are like V17. But like you get, it just depends on the moment.
And I think you get to test, like he's saying, on the road. And I think that the response from the crowd, especially like we don't say, hey, what up everybody, this is our new song. Like people,
hey, let us know how this sounds. Is the kick too loud?
People come to Sidepiece shows knowing they're gonna get like a ton of IDs and different remixes and things. But we like to kind of, when there's kind of a fresh experience and you get to see that response for the first time of like this new one, and you're like, you can tell. Like sometimes we're like, oh, yo, that was a banger, we're stoked on it. But as time goes on, usually I feel like a lot of times our best songs and our biggest ones are ones that we don't have to like keep working on 50 million times. It's usually like the best songs are done the quickest and kind of they just happen organically.
All the time. Sometimes if you're on, I have this saying, if you're on V and it starts with a 2 and after, just put it away, man.
That's too many.
Put it away.
I don't know if we've ever done a V.
I don't think
I've never got there.
Only like pop stuff have I ever had to do that, but like never for like we're too lazy. There's no way. Like 20, you're crazy, bro.
We do have some V10s.
V11s.
V10s.
That's like you're
V11.
fixing mixed stuff when it's like I think what it is when you're fixing song stuff for too long. It's gone because like I forget this, like I don't want to be corny, but like there was like a TED Talks where it's like the word genius is like something passing through you or something, and like getting a song versus like you can't like create a song, like you're always like receiving creativity. Not to like get all woo woo, but it's like it really is true. Like if you get like 100%. For V20 and this has to be a hit, just like start again. You'll receive another song. Like it's just not worth it.
There's still songs I'm holding on to that I'm like I gotta revive this. And then sometimes I'll read to Ricky and I can just tell he's like, oh yeah, sure, maybe just do another pass.
That's different. I actually think that when you spend like 3 years outside of it though, and then you come back with new production. Dylan has done that. I've done that. That's for sure. That has worked. But like if you haven't stopped working on it for 6 months, put it down, buddy.
Time to put it out the pasture.
Put it on SoundCloud.
Take
let it
Lassie
go.
out back,
let it go. What I think was really cool about last year's releases was you had a release on Toolroom. I mean, that's a proper one of the mecca house labels.
Yep. Shout out Mark Knight.
I mean, talk to us about how important that was for Sidepiece.
Well, you know what was cool is I think when we were actually talking with Mark for a while about doing a release with him, and we kind of had sent him some ideas. He had sent him stuff, and then we were even talking at one point about doing a collab with him. And then randomly, we had all these ideas, and then he actually like had the idea with the Kia vocal, "My Neck, My Back" or whatever.
Right.
And we were like, oh, this is like really interesting, and it was originally like the full explicit lyrics.
Right.
And we were talking, we're like, oh, I kind of feel like it'd be kind of cool to resample it in a different way. But then, anyways, it kind of came up where for both of us too, as much as we love, heavier stuff and electro influenced stuff, we always find ourselves trying to incorporate as much rhythm and groove and stuff like that. And I think that for us, we both love all the Toolroom releases just because it's just, there's so much rhythm.
Yes.
And, the history and Mark's such a great A&R. So I think it was, and they were awesome. I mean, they were such great partners in dance music, a lot of times with dance labels too. It's like, it's hard to find people that actually will push the record, but also like know where the right home is for it. So yeah, I mean, we definitely would do something with them again.
That's really, really sick, man. And what also I love about you guys is that you guys both earlier in your careers, like you guys were doing different types of music, and then you guys found house. I guess my question for each one of you, what was that record when you were working on other music? You must have heard one record and go, damn, I want to produce house music. Like, I love this. I want to make something like this. Was there ever that moment where you're in the studio and like, a song just comes across and you're like, man, I really want to, going back to your early days, I want to make house music.
I'm trying to think of what specific. I definitely have moments like there's actually this one. I remember I used to like force you to play it in our early shows because it was kind of techno-y, but I can't remember the name of it. And then the other stuff is actually like he was saying Toolroom, like groovy stuff. Like I remember early on we were both like, man, how do we like update this to like not just like, make it sound old, but like it is still a big influence to always have like groovy, like club space kind of like just terrace 6 a.m. stuff. It really does. I don't know. That's like I feel like both of ours, like we agree that like if we were going to do a different type of house, it would always go back to like the grooviest, like that type of stuff. So I mean, that type of sound has always been a big influence. I think because of making like heavier music, like, trap or dubstep. That's why a lot of the electro stuff is actually really fun because then you get into the sound design. But when it becomes, I guess the word is like too white and you're just like versus like, a little bit of that groove, like that's what we're always trying to like chase after, I guess.
I think for me, like going back to like 2009, 2010 when I was in college, and for me, I think it might have been like Wolfgang Gartner, Casindo or something like that. Like, I think for me, that early I guess it was. I mean, I guess you call it electro. Electro house coming out of Europe was something that was so fresh, and there was nobody in the U.S. and there was no real outlet for that, and there was a bunch of. I was full blog house kid, and so for me, I was like, this is the music that I want to make, and every time I would sit down to make it, I would like somehow end up making something that was more like trap based or whatever, and that came naturally. But it was like I always loved that music, and then I think whenever I first started DJing here in Hollywood in LA, my first gigs, because no one cared about me or gave a shit about who I was, the only gigs I could get were opening. So I used to play tech house, and I fell in love with it, and I fell in love with curating the sets and curating the time. I mean, I opened at all the Hollywood clubs for I remember opening for Afrojack one time. I was like, oh my God, here he is, and I was, and I'm like over here like trying to be this bass kid, but then I'm opening with tech house. I was all over the place, But I think for me that it was kind of a long story, but I guess for me that was, I grew to love and appreciate the music before even thinking about making it. And I think I always had dreamed like maybe one day I can come back and do this, and it's just come full circle. So
that's dope, man. Going back to you saying I forced him to play something in a DJ set. How do you guys put together your guys' DJ sets? I mean, there's two of you. Yeah. And are there times where you're like, man, don't play this record. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Oh, yeah.
You guys argue.
People just be like, I think we're both really open about it. It's like a relationship. Like, there's no need to like I think when people hide, actually, when you see groups fall apart, is because they try to act like everything's okay all the time. And it's like, of course, I've been like, yo, I don't think you should play that. And then either he can listen to me or not. It's his life. Like, I can't actually be like, don't play the song, you know? Like,
so
it's just a request.
You get to play whatever you want, and then you play whatever you want?
I mean, is that... We're very symbiotic. I wouldn't even say, like, I'm just, I'm giving you the worst case scenario is that every now and then, like, Dylan he's played Vegas longer than me, so he'll be like, oh, I think this crowd... for this specific, I can see they were liking this, so let's play like something a little bit, easier on the ears. And I'm like, all right, I'll follow his lead. And then if I have some stupid, weird like techno thing, but I'm like, yo, just trust me, it'll go off. Or like a dubstep drop like that, or like something that will like flip the crowd a little bit. We trust each other with that, so it's like it's fun because it makes it not like, if it was too perfect, like that's how you can't learn off of that. So it's like we definitely have moments where like, we shouldn't have played that, but hey, it's okay, we learned.
What was that moment when one of you shouldn't have played that and the other one said, I told you? But in a good way, in a fun way.
I mean, we've definitely both done that to each other, 100%. I can't remember the last time, but like, we've definitely played like, I'm trying to think what's a record.
There's been a few times where there's been shows where we're like, the crowd was like, okay, every once in a while you get a crowd that you're like, as a DJ yourself too, it's like, you're like, okay, we cannot connect with this crowd, and it's like harder. We've been doing this for so long that it's like, okay, we know how to, okay, let's try it with someone with this, let's try someone with this, and we're not like this is usually doesn't happen at shows where people are paying tickets to see us, they know our music, This might be
those are actually easier to be honest,
because those are your
they
fans
like us,
coming,
it's like you don't have as much to prove, like in a sense, but
it might be a Vegas style club or maybe somewhere in Asia or Europe that it's like they're a little bit different,
sometimes college shows too, like
exactly.
if we're like, yo, I don't know this like skibbity toilet song, like what are these kids listening to right now?
And then we'll be like, we'll try a song, and then it'll be like crickets, and it's like, oops, well, I thought that would work, but it's just you try some.
I think it's just having like patience. Like I'm super like OCD a lot of times, so he's usually like, oh my gosh, Ricky's gonna play this stupid song that's like, whatever. I'm like, no, I have to play it. I'm like, please let me play my weird techno song.
Let me get this out. Now, has one of you ever messed up a blend where the other one kind of went, come on, man?
We definitely that. Yeah,
for sure.
I just asked because the dynamic of having two people all the time DJing has got to be very interesting.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm not even gonna mention what it was, but it's hard. It's not us most of the time. But when we do back-to-backs, because we're already two, that's actually the most time I've seen us been like, oh man, we messed up because someone either their record box is all totally off-grid and this, and it's hard to mix, or they play a song that we're just like, how do I get out of this song?
Right.
How do I get out of a 7-minute weird cut? And we're like, all right, I don't know how deep we're going, but I guess we'll have to get out of this song. That's been low-key. Those are funny moments, though, because we look back and we laugh. We're like, yo, remember when so-and-so we back-to-back and they played a 7-minute song and you had, it always happens to Dylan. Like, it always happens where I'm just like, I'm on the side like, have fun.
Yeah. Figure that one out.
Oof, yeah.
Good times.
So you guys, you started your label Lip Service, and I think the first release was Cash Out on Lip Service.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
And I remember like we were getting the information, and like my team was like, we can't find any information on Lip Service. I'm like, wait, what is Lip Service?
Perfect.
And no, seriously, because I'm like, I know almost every label. What, you know what and I couldn't even figure it out for a while, and I said, it has to be theirs. It has to be their own label. Talk to us about the importance of having a label and why you guys started a label.
I mean, I think without sounding cliche, obviously it's a first and foremost, it's a chance for us to take ownership over our own music and also platform and push artists that we believe in. But outside of that, I think that we have been through almost every single label situation you can think of. We've been with majors. We've been, writers where we're dealing with majors in the background as producers or writers on other songs. We've dealt with, a lot of, you can say that on serious, right? Yeah. We've seen the ups and downs, and I think that we, taking the ability for us to kind of control our destiny and control hopefully the destiny for other artists as well. Is exciting, and I think a lot of artists say that, but we're putting our own money behind it. We're putting our whole teams behind it, and it's not just like a vanity thing. I think it's like we actually want to build into something exciting. But for us, we wanted to, get it started with our own music. So this is, we just put out the first release with it. The second release is going to be with Aluna, and we have a lot more.
And then you guys
coming.
also put out, I don't know how to say his name exactly, Piero
Perupa.
There you go.
Yeah.
You guys put him out. That record's dope.
Yeah.
That was the first one that's like outside of us on the record. So that's what he's saying. Like we've released obviously Take Your Places,
right,
a bunch of other records, but like Piero was the first one. Now Aluna is the second. So you know we have like a cool lineup of just we just always get demos like throughout the years, and then now we finally opened up like a demo pool, and I think we were both like not surprised because it's like I shouldn't be surprised, but like there's maybe like 600 demos in there, and we found a lot of insanely good records that we played already in our New Year's set. We're gonna play on the tour. We signed a couple of them, so it's just like it almost is like fun for us to like kind of nerd out on just like good music, and we're like, man, if you're
some of these kids have like 100 followers.
Yeah, no, it's not even like always huge kids, so that's what's fun. We're just like, man, I remember like we've both been there where we're like sending demos to like Diplo or Skrillex or whoever, so like it, you know, it's always good to have that like full cycle moment where we're like, hey, we want to provide a little bit of that for these kids too.
Dope, man. And let's talk about the song with Aluna. How did that collab happen? Misbehave is fire. Again, it's on your label, Lip Service. Talk to us about the collab and how that came together.
It's a great story, actually.
Well, I mean, we both obviously have been fans of her, and I'm sure you are. Everybody is, right? She's incredible, and the stuff that she did with her husband as well. And what was like?
I just remember like
the initial catalyst.
I don't remember how we started the session, but I remember we got there to a studio.
Right. Oh, it was a session you guys had planned together.
That's why it's a good story, because like a lot of times I was like, oh,
over here in
playing
Santa Monica.
songs, those are boring, but like this is a real session, live people, and we met up with her. We had another
writer in there,
that was like helping us too with her, and we get in there and the mic has a buzz, and I'm like, again, I already told you I'm pretty OCD, so I was like, guys, I can't. They're like, no, let's just write the song. I was like, I can't with this microphone. It's killing me. This literally a Neumann U87. Like everything is like super expensive. I'm like, why? Do you have a buzzing cord?
Right.
So I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go home and get my own stuff. And I'm like, you guys stay. Write the song.
Wait, real quick though. Okay, hold on. Okay.
You left the session.
No, hold on. Yeah, it's okay. I gotta paint this because I think it's like, okay,
it gets worse.
This is even better. No. This is gonna give everyone that's watching a better description of my partner here. This is what I have to deal with. No.
It's true. It's true.
So the session's going great. We had come up with kind of the general hook idea, and like he was saying, and you know the vibes were good, but it was like there's always something sometimes in a session, and it's like, you know, you can't have something like a mic ruin the thing. We have to, you know, she's here, we got to record, she's busy, we're busy, you know, and the fire was alive. So like I'm tinkering away on the bass line, we're writing the stuff, we're doing this, and then all of a sudden, you know, Ricky's like, I got to go. And so Ricky goes home, and Ricky had, before this, I don't think I'd seen it fully yet, but he's like, yo, okay, I made a traveling recording case for us. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like an actual, like, he's like, just trust me. And so he leaves, and I mean, you live like 25 minutes away from the studio or something,
right?
So we're sitting there, we're working, and like Ricky's gone, there's traffic or whatever. And we're like, okay, what's going on here? And then Ricky pulls back up in his Supra with the trunk open, a giant Pelican case, pulls it out like full blown like Inspector Gadget, opens it up, and he's got a mobile recording little studio for us to record.
It was like literally like I bought 500 series preamps and EQs and stuff to emulate my real rack stuff. Right. So I have like little mini me of my real studio. Right.
So
because I don't trust studios.
We're in this like $500,000 studio,
and you bring your little setup in there,
and it's perfect. It records great. But we were just laughing. We're like, what is this? The fact that we're in here and we're having to do this, it was crazy.
It's just you know what it is when you're not in your own home, your own studio. Yeah. It's not necessarily that studio didn't have everything. It's just that maybe one chord was wrong, but like I didn't plug in this studio. I don't know where everything is. Yes. So I was like, it's literally faster for me to just go get. And then we did the song, and then it was great because like he said, like the problem is if you miss the moment of that day while she's there ready,
everything's the moment.
I'm like, we gotta get this vocal ASAP, and that is the same vocal that's on the record you hear today.
Right.
We never re-recorded it, so it's like
that's dope.
Feels like it was worth it, but it is. Yeah, it's crazy.
She sounds great.
She sounds good.
Great.
She sounds great.
Killed it.
So you know,
wow,
that's the story.
And you had to keep the troops entertained.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm the clown of the group. Right. Yeah. I was juggling. Yeah.
Oh, man. So let's also talk about your single, you know, Cash Out with Bobby Shmurda. I mean, last year.
Shout out, Bobby. Yes.
Massive. Such a sick collab. I mean, you guys had to know that record was special even before you road tested it. You had to know it.
It was kind of one of those ones where, like, we've always had good... It brings me back to a Millie. I remember the day... there was 2 shows. Dylan was like, yo, I made this little tiny edit, but I think it's sick. And we played Amelia the first time in Canada. And then we were both like, oh, this is crazy. And then we finished it for New York. What's that festival?
Oh,
and then even like Sid was there. Yeah,
yeah.
There was like a sick New York festival.
Right.
I can't remember the name of it.
Right.
And everybody, managers were there. Everybody was like, the Amelia record, oh my gosh. And like, it just exactly reminds me of Cash Out. It was like, bro, I started this little Cash idea. Oh my gosh, like let's try it out. And then the first festival we played at like an Insomniac festival at like, you know, NOS Center. It was like fire. It was like this craziest moment. We're like, all right, we got to clear this. We got to call Bobby. Like, this isn't a treat anymore. This is like a record.
So you guys just started it off as a DJ tool.
All of them start like that.
Oh, they always do. Yeah,
Always.
we don't ever start just thinking we're going to clear this.
Because you don't know.
The thing, the touch on that too is like even like the Millie thing is there. I think that what made that song work too, and I think you and I were talking about this, is that song was obviously, you know, part of the zeitgeist of the culture, right? And then he went to jail. It was gone.
Right.
Everyone knew that song, but it was like it kind of fallen out of.
Forget.
I mean, of course, I'm sure you could be in the club here and there, and you hear a flip of it or a mashup or whatever.
It's not the obvious one,
but it was like, it almost like. I don't know how to say it without. It's like it brought the song back in a way. It almost was like people were hearing it, and the kids, the younger kids, were almost hearing it for like the first time.
Yeah.
So people got the like Cash Out moment again, and you know, well, let me know if the real name is a different name, but you know, I think that like
we had to change the name.
Yeah,
Right.
we had to change the name.
We can't
Yeah.
be saying that.
But I think that the big moment was definitely like when getting him out to like my manager is like the rapper Whisperer, and so somehow he finagled getting Bobby out to the show, and then Bobby was just like, you know, the Tasmanian Devil from Looney Tunes,
right?
That's Bobby,
right?
But in the best way. Like he came on.
It's genuine. He's like that. He really like that.
He came to EDC, and I have never seen like he became everyone's best friend. He was the best.
You have to show him the picture. His dad got a picture with Bobby, and it's on their Christmas postcard.
Yeah. My dad put it on. It's literally like all these like
it's
you know
funny.
Like, you know, my parents are almost 70 years old, and they're on there with like, oh, here we are kayaking, here we are doing this, and then it's like Greg with Bobby Shmurda,
and he's wearing glasses,
and he's wearing one of my old party favorite tank tops, and like so he made a good experience. But that moment was like one of the greatest moments I've ever had.
It was insane.
In my whole career, was when he came up there. I mean, there's the chills moment, and he just someone who just gets the moment. When he came on stage, he just I don't know how to describe it.
I think we were like a little. What made it even better is like we were a little worried because he was lit.
Right.
But he was the type of dude that like as soon as we gave him the mic, he was like. And he got into character, and then he just went there, was like, "Get up on my trap," and everyone was like, it wasn't like a lame rap performance. And you know what I'm talking about, where like they get up there and they're just like too cool, and they're like singing their song. He was like fully embracing the moment, going crazy. Like I don't know, that energy was like we were like, oh my god, he did it. He literally killed it. He crushed it. Everybody. It wasn't like, oh, why did they bring a rapper up? I just like their DJ set. You know,
it's like he went Super Saiyan or something. It was crazy.
It was insane. He killed it.
When you guys did that performance, had he already committed to doing the record?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And did you guys recut vocals, or did you guys?
Yeah. We had him recut the vocals, and then you know it made it a little bit easier to like sort out everything.
Right.
And I mean, also it was kind of cool that he recut it. I think because it's like him now.
Right.
Yes.
Obviously, you know, it's nice to always have the original vocals, and people were like, "Oh, you should have left the original." But like, I don't think people realize how difficult it is to like do clearances and this and that. So
100%.
you know, it was still cool that.
It's funny that no one really says that anymore because
but no one notices.
Yeah, you know,
Right.
it's just hearing the old one and
Yeah, I don't think people care anymore. To be honest, nobody's
There's like
going.
two kids on TikTok that were upset. We're sorry.
Yeah. Yes.
You can move
There's
on.
always that. It's not the original singer.
Sorry.
Nobody
Not really.
cares. Right. So let me ask you, when you guys are creating, I mean, this is also a big debate, especially in dance music. Are you guys using AI at all as part of the creative process?
I think AI is such a like touchy subject because I'm someone that dove really deep in it to understand it immediately, and there's completely different uses for it. So what the best use for it is like a tool to create sounds, right? When you're creating samples, you download people, I don't know how many nerds are listening to this that like use Splice and download samples.
Yes.
To me, that's how I use AI. If you're getting pieces to then recreate something, you're using little bits and pieces to make the rest of the song. If you go into Suno and you type "make me a house song with a rap vocal," and then you mix that and put it out, I'm not for that.
Right.
And that's pretty much what everybody I think would agree that's a musician is like, let's not do that. That's actually going to ruin everybody's industry. But if you can treat it like a splice, like a thing where you're like, oh, I need a weird mandolin mixed with an Asian instrument and then put weird drums. And it's like some weird shit that you can't just create. Or you're like, oh, I don't have access to a 70s soul style drum kit. You know what I mean? If you're creating things, you're actually using these tools, I think it's okay. But yeah, of course, everybody that's just like ripping like Drake's vocal or being like, make me a party favorite song, but make it tech house.
Right.
It's like, what are we doing? Like that, there's a huge difference between those that I don't think the everyday person realizes.
I did try
that. That's how our next song is a party favorite trap song from AI.
Oof.
That is so you're basically
Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah. You're basically saying you utilize it the way you would utilize Splice. Just for some creative
use it as a tool.
Right.
Everything has, like, people don't remember this, but like when electric guitar came out, people thought it was the devil. They were like, what is this machine? That's not a real guitar.
Right.
When have you ever heard that in the nobody thinks that anymore. It's when John Mayer or Prince picks up guitar, you're like, that is art. That's beauty.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm not trying to say that guitar is exactly like AI. I'm just comparing that like something scary that's a new tool.
Right.
A digital, workstation, auto-tune. T-Pain used auto-tune and made it work. And now nobody bats an eye. Everyone uses auto-tune, right? So I'm just saying, treat it in the sense of like, all right, if you use it correctly and not like a piece of crap, you could use it.
But there's going to be people there are people that aren't going to use it correctly.
Of course, but that's like everything in history. Guns.
Right.
But I think that as we're going to see, it's like the cream always rises to the top in the sense that true, artists, musicians, people, it comes through because they are using it in that sense. And I think that obviously, if you don't want to use AI, more power to you. If you do, but as long as there's a human element where you are bringing your soul and your energy, and
100%.
That's something that AI I think can't touch, right? So I mean, at least yet,
it's in the hands of an artist. If if you're a real artist, you can tell the difference.
Right? No, 100%.
I've already seen, and I've watched so many things where I'm like, to kind of like get behind and understand where like, if you're an artist and you use a tool, that's always going to win because you're an artist. But if you're not an artist and you use a tool and you abuse the tool,
and you're trying to be an artist, you're not an artist.
That's totally different.
Right.
And I think when people hear our songs, they can tell it's like there's a through line of our sound that's not. I mean, I'm sure maybe AI could recreate it.
We also have proof that we've created songs without AI for our entire history of our career, so it's not like we don't really need it. You know what I mean? Like what we'd be using for is something that we couldn't get, which would be an insane, tool to use. If you're like, oh, I can actually get something I can't get because we can produce almost anything from without AI.
We need the Geronimo AI get you on our song.
We can use it to make your voice do something. That would be fun,
Right. No, I did a deep dive into it, and I just see the power of harnessing it, especially for vocals. Mm-hmm. And I just, it seems like a touchy subject with a lot of people. But I look at it kind of to your point where you're looking at it when the electric guitar, I look at it as when the sampler first came in.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and people were sampling stuff, and people were like, that's not real music. They're sampling. There's no real musicians on it. Mm. But that just became a tool.
Yeah.
And that changed music forever. And I think this is going to be a tool that will change music forever, because I think a lot of the crutches for producers is they're not in a room with a vocalist. They're not in a room with a top liner.
The human connection.
And that's very hard sometimes if you're an up-and-coming artist. And
it's not easy.
And it's not easy until you get to a certain level. And I see this as, just like sampling, I can't get a bass guitarist and an electric guitarist in those horn sounds. 100%. But I can sample this right away and create my art from it.
Yep.
And I think that's how it is going to be moving forward. And it's a powerful tool.
And like also at the end of the day, this is like the most clear point. It's that it's taste.
Right.
So if I pick something from AI, I would hope my taste leads me down the right path.
Right.
And I pick the right thing.
But you might be picking that weird techno record you want to play. And
you're never gonna let him live that down.
I gotta.
It's a good one.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like dum boom.
Yep.
It's
that
so
doesn't
heavy.
sound like a lot of records.
Oh my gosh!
I've never heard that before. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It's an old one.
Right. And recently, you guys were talking.
Just loop that for the promo.
There you go. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. That's
just us just vibing like this.
Yes. I'm gonna put that in AI and create a song out of it.
Well, it is a real song, so we don't need to recreate, but I just gotta find it. God.
You guys recently were talking to our good friend Will Clark.
Oh yeah, man.
And you were talking about the importance of the team behind you, and I found that very interesting. And I, in my opinion, the team is so important. Talk a little more about your guys' support team and how it keeps the Sidepiece machine moving.
I mean, you know what's crazy is when you get to a certain level, people don't realize that it takes a village to do anything, right? We're the people that are in front of the camera, in front of the audience, and we do so much and we both work so hard, but the people behind the scenes is what keeps the engine going, and I think that we just have we have a bigger team because we were previously two separate artists with different teams. And
so you guys kept your individual teams intact.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So so it's getting everybody to obviously there's a lot of people to getting everyone to agree and to do things together. For many years was like we had to finesse and figure it out. But I think that over the last couple of years, especially like our everybody's really become simpatico, So, but I think that the I guess the point was just that when we know that like, hey, we've assigned kind of since we have so many people, it's like, hey, you're really good at this. Why don't you handle this side of maybe you're more like you help lead the marketing side. Okay, my manager Ryan here, you help with some of the the contracting and some of the management details of music side. You help with the social media side, like. But it's in this day and age too. It's like crazy. Everything's marketing. Everything's it's not just. Hey, let's upload to SoundCloud and things are good. So
it's a lot.
It's a lot, and I think that without our teams, we would be not as big as we are, for sure.
It's also kind of like a convenience. Like we're at a stage where we're lucky, we're blessed enough to even be able to have that. You know what I mean? Like when you first start, you and a manager and maybe a photographer,
right?
And that's where you have to get to the next level, and then you're like, okay. Let's add one more. Okay, a TM. Sweet. Now that guy can take care of this. Okay, now someone that can handle posting, and someone that can handle marketing and boosting and this and that, and someone that can handle labels. So it's like you just are, slowly building. A lot of people just don't do it though. In my honest opinion, I don't want to say the word greed, but because people are afraid to lose money and they're like, oh, that's gonna take away from my pot of this and that. But it's like you can never truly scale until you start letting a little bit. You have to start paying.
You have to invest
all these
back
people.
in yourself. Yeah.
So it is I think a lot of people struggle with that, and that's what holds a lot of people back. Where I'm not saying not to go make your money. I think everyone needs to get paid well, but it's we're sitting here. You have someone on a mixing board. Right. A videographer, photographer. Right. They might do more than that. You probably have done that in the past and
100%.
had to do it for yourself. Yeah. So it's when you get to a certain level, now you can hire those people. And we're just lucky that, like you said, when we joined forces. It was just like me and him, a relationship thing where we're now we've gotten to this sweet spot where that's why the label's crushing is because everybody has a job and it's just been this awesome thing. We're basically blessed to have this many people on the team.
Then you guys can focus on, which is probably the most important part, the music. I mean, at the end of the day, 100%. Nothing moves without the music.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think that's and maybe that shows on why last year you guys' releases. Exactly. We're like, damn.
Yeah, and I think that we're working on building a brand that is Sidepiece, and people, want to be a part of everything that we're doing. Not beyond just the music. It's become a lot of the biggest artists. There's a kind of a culture around them. I guess you could say. It's kind of a buzzword word, but I think that's something that we're all as a team working towards as well. So.
Talk a little more about building the brand of Sidepiece, and what does that look like for somebody that's not behind the curtain.
Branding, I guess branding can be in multiple facets where it's I think we've realized this year, I guess one lesson is that us being forward facing as me and Dylan's personality, just being us and playing the house music has won much more than just trying to be I don't know, for example, doing skits or trying to be too funny or trying to be too sexy or trying to be once we made the project about granted we have videos of girls having fun, but once we actually made it not about us specifically with that part of it, it seemed to do better because you're oh, this is I honestly, this is crazy, but I feel girls come because I feel safe to have fun there. Because
that's
we're both
interesting.
married. We're not really like hitting on them or anything.
Right.
We're not being creeps. We're not weirdos, right? So like these girls are actually able to just like go listen to house music, have fun. It's like a safe place for them, right? And I think a lot of our fans have like realized that. A lot of our shows that like it's like a safe space for people to come like listen to dance music. Yeah. As much as it might just look like this sexy thing, and we're like bachelors, we're really not. You know what I mean? So it's like it's actually this like created this really cool brand of like a safe space for everyone to go do that. And like once we like kind of like backgrounded ourselves on that area, then we went forward and like we're the DJs, we're the music behind it. That's what we face towards. We make the music. We that's why we like making treats, and we're in the car like, you know, jamming to our music, because that's what we really care about. We're not really the people that are like, get videos of us partying. You know, like that's not really us. Whereas like we created that safe place for other people to enjoy and do that. And once we showed those two sides, I think it took us out of like, we're the cool, sexy party guys. Because like, I'm just be honest, like I'm sober now. Like Dylan almost never, like neither of us really do anything. So it's like, it would have been fake for us to make all that party stuff about us. But now that we made it about the group and the crowd and the other girls like having fun and us being your soundtrack. Right. That to me like saved our whole brand. Where we're like,
and on top of that, also people, it's a good party. Like, you come to a Sidepiece party, like like we're gonna make sure you have a good time. You know, so I think that that's part of our brand too. Is that like it's become, you know, like we have. People will post about us all the time, like, yo, you know, everyone was dancing. And, you know, you see all these videos of these people just like zonked out, like just with their phones in the air. And it's like, I feel like, you know, knock on wood, but like we're fortunate when you come to our show, it's like people are moving and they're dancing and they're, and we get feedback about that. And I think that to us as musicians, as DJs is like the best response you can get. So I think what he was saying is like, you know, it's not about, yes, we are Sidepiece and we're here, but like it's not like, yo, look how cool we are. It's like, come to our show, have a good time.
Like the party's a good, like the party is what's cool. Like all of us together. And even what's a crazy thing is like, we're talking about our new tour coming up. And we've been like, you know, figuring out the light. You have to do all this like sound set design and stuff. And we've basically made the crowd behind us, like the boiler room style thing, obviously is kind of where it came from. But like, we've just made that such a part of the show now because we feel more comfortable and more at home within the group, within the crowd, like having that, because it's like that was always more comfortable to me than us just being two dudes up there in lights. Like, I don't know, that was just always like weird, like to me that I don't know.
We feed off it.
It's just easier energy to actually have people like behind. I don't mean like you're doing great, sweetie. I just mean like genuinely just dancing. Like you don't have to be looking at us, but if you're actually having a good time, we feel that energy and it's like more fun to play that way.
So now for the tour, you have to pick venues that you can have access to have
do that.
Yeah. So I mean that's a whole thing too that people don't see is that like, you know, a lot of times they think, okay, you announce the show or you pick your city and you buy tickets and that's it. But there's a whole operation of you know, we're figuring out we're you know going to time some visuals to certain things. We're going to we have to figure out the exact set and the flow we feel like it's going to go with the production he's talking about, and we have some things that we're like manufacturing right now that, you know, we're hoping to get made in time, you know, and some of these rooms are big, you know, I mean, they're 4,000, 5,000 tickets, which is big, you know, for us too, you know? So it's like, we want to make sure that when people come, you know, it's elevated to the level that we hope they expect. And, you know,
when does the tour start?
Technically, I mean, it's funny. We're always on tour, but like the production side of the tour essentially starts. I think our first one is
Radius.
Yeah, Radius, Chicago.
Radius,
Nice.
Yeah.
Sick room, actually.
Yeah. Also one of the best cities in America. And best house cities. So
of course.
Yeah.
Of course. What else do you guys have planned for 2026? What you know, big tune with Aluna to kick things off. What else we got?
Yeah, we've got, I mean, obviously there's some things we can't say or that are not for sure yet. But I mean, we have a lot of really cool, you know, festivals that we've already gotten offers for that we haven't played in years that we're really excited about. We've got some overseas tours that we're excited about. We've got some really fun collabs in the works, some really exciting songs that are going to come out on the label.
Is all the music now just going to filter through your label, or are you still going to sprinkle some stuff on other labels?
We still might find time to like be able to. I mean, that's a good thing about having your own label is like you can do whatever you want. Right. So we're not like locked into it. But obviously, we want a majority focus in. Like we just also dropped the "Cry for You" remix by Avello. Right. Also on this, you know, similar day, and it's like it's been doing well because, you know, it was something we were just like, hey man, like, think you knew remix? Okay, cool. It's our label. We can release it whenever. Right. And we just found a date. So it's been really nice to be able to release songs like that, and the song with Piero and Misbehave.
Well, yeah, we might do something with Toolroom again. Or, exactly. Or John's label, or you know, some of these other guys. Yep. But yeah, we have some fun stuff in the pipeline. But I think we went so hard in 2025 that we kind of allowed some of the songs to breathe a little bit. But we're already starting to fill up our schedule, I think, a little bit. So, you know, expect a lot more new stuff.
Kind of back to the drawing board. A lot of these sessions, you know, maybe I'll have to bring my big box and do this, you know.
Or just bring the box in from the start.
Well,
now we have it in the car.
We know.
Yeah, just as the backup.
Oh, yeah, here's your $100,000 studio. No, we got this.
No, I got this.
Yo, come out to the car and cut the vocals.
Yeah.
For real, it might even sound better.
Hey, jump in my white van.
Right.
Hey, some of our biggest songs were on an iPhone voice note.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's amazing.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. There's no rules.
All right. Well, it's awesome having you guys back on the show. I mean, the music you guys are dropping is amazing. Excited about the tour.
That means a lot. Thank you for the support.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Powertools.